Hello everyone, and thank you for taking time to watch this video. My name is Kende Omotosho, and today I will be talking about dynamic arrays, specifically addressing the advantages and disadvantages compared to the traditional static array. Before going into that, I will just record the fundamental of the data structure is to store collections of elements. And that's just typically the same data type. The one in memory locations. So the distinction we'll be talking about today is the flexibility and or lack of flexibility in handling varying data size. So talking about the advantages of dynamic array, the most significant benefits of dynamic array is their flexibility in memory locations. In memory allocations. And unlike static array, right, the dynamic arrays actually require you to specify the data size at the compile time. So, at the beginning, you have to specify the data size. And then dynamic array can also grow or shrink in size. That's during runtime when the application is running. So this ability for dynamic array to actually, be adaptable is very powerful, and that's what makes it very unique. So, just imagine that you are building an application where you don't have the exact number of item a user will input, right? And then, with a static array, you would have to either guess the maximum size or try to estimate as large as possible, and which can cause a lot of problems like arrays being out of bounds, or you having errors when you underestimate the size of the data you actually want to put in your array. So, dynamic array adjusts automatic. They automatically adjust to the capacity. And when they get filled up, right, you can actually allocate a larger block of memory. You copy the existing elements into the new one, and then you free, the old memory or the old location of that array. And this is happening on demand, like on the fly. You can do that on the fly, even when your application has been compiled and it's running. So the key disadvantages of dynamic array is, even though their flexibility is a strength, it actually comes at a cost, right? So in software engineering, you talk about, the trade-offs, right? And this is one of the trade-off. So primarily, uh, it consumes a lot of resources. By resources, I mean memory, CPU, and all of that. And when a dynamic array needs more space, right, it has to perform a series of operation, allocate a new larger memory block, copy all the existing elements into the old block, and then, deallocate or free up the old block. And, these are operations that cost a lot on the system resources, especially when you are, copying the elements, which can, require a lot of CPU usage and all of that. So, yeah. So, if you need to frequently resize your array, it can lead to a noticeable performance issue, right? That you are going to notice on your system. Just for example, adding an element to a full dynamic array might mean that, you take a longer time than just adding an element into a static array, because for static array you already know the size, you already know everything. So the computational power is easy. Even though now we have modern ways to actually do it, but again the power consumption or the resource consumption is way more than that of static array. So in summary, dynamic array are just, they offer invaluable flexibility, which allows you to handle, data of different sizes and all of that. but then it comes with at a cost for you, which can be noticeable in the performance of your application. So when you understand the trade-off, right, you will be able to make your decision if you are choosing the right, I mean, the decision for you to choose the right data structure that your application currently need. Thank you.